It's small, it's coppery, and it's packed with history. The humble US 1-cent coin has been part of American culture for over 200 years, but did you know that some of these pennies are worth way more than a cent? Stick around as we count down the top 4 most fascinating and valuable 1-cent coins ever made by the United States. Let's dive in. First up, the 2008 United States 1-cent coin, widely known as the Lincoln penny, stands as a significant piece of American numismatic history. While it might seem like an ordinary coin to most, it represents the culmination of decades of tradition and serves as a bridge to a new chapter in US coinage. To truly understand the 2008 penny's importance, we must explore its origins, design, production, and the cultural and historical narratives it carries. The story of the Lincoln cent begins in 1909, a year chosen to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Prior to Lincoln's profile gracing the penny, US 1-cent coins featured designs such as the Indian head and the flying eagle. The Lincoln cent marked a revolutionary change, as it was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure. This was a departure from the tradition of allegorical or symbolic designs that dominated earlier coinage. Victor David Brenner, a sculptor and medalist, was tasked with designing the new penny. His design was inspired by a Matthew Brady photograph of Lincoln and featured the president's right-facing profile. Brenner's initials, VDB, were initially included prominently on the coin's reverse, but were later removed due to public criticism. The obverse design of Lincoln's profile has remained largely unchanged since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in history. The reverse design of the original Lincoln cent featured 2 wheat ears flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America, accompanied by the motto E pluribus unum. Known as the wheat penny, this design symbolized agricultural prosperity. It remained in use until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The Lincoln Memorial Reverse, introduced in 1959, was the work of Frank Gasparo, who later became the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. This design featured a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., with extraordinary detail. Notably, a tiny engraving of Lincoln's seated figure is visible between the central columns of the memorial. This micro-engraving made the design unique and set it apart from other coins. The Lincoln Memorial Reverse remained in production for nearly 50 years, making it one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. The 2008 penny represents the final year of this iconic design, as the Mint transitioned to the Lincoln Bicentennial Series in 2009. These 2009 designs celebrated Lincoln's life with 4 distinct reverses, highlighting key stages: his birth and early childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. The composition of the penny has undergone several changes over the years. From 1909 to 1982, pennies were primarily composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, rising copper prices led the Mint to adopt a new composition in 1,9,8,2,9,75% zinc, with a thin copper plating. This composition remains in use today and was employed for the 2008 penny. While the change reduced production costs, it also altered the coin's weight and feel, distinguishing newer pennies from their older counterparts. The 2008 penny was produced in vast quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with billions struck for circulation. This high production volume makes it a common coin with limited value beyond its face amount in circulated condition. However, uncirculated examples, especially those with exceptional luster and sharp strikes, are sought after by collectors and can fetch between 10 cents and $1. Additionally, proof versions of the 2008 penny were minted in San Francisco for collectors. These proof coins, featuring mirror-like finishes and intricate details, are valued higher and can range from a few dollars to more, depending on their condition. Though the 2008 penny is not particularly rare or valuable, its historical significance lies in its role as the last year of the Lincoln Memorial design. For many Americans, this design is deeply nostalgic, as it was the penny they used in everyday transactions for decades. It also serves as a reminder of Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy and the ideals he stood for: unity, perseverance, and equality. The decision to retire the Lincoln Memorial design in 2008 was part of a broader initiative to honor Lincoln's bicentennial in 2009. The new designs provided a fresh perspective on Lincoln's life and achievements while maintaining his iconic profile on the obverse. This transition marked a new era in the penny's storied history. For collectors, the 2008 penny is a meaningful addition to any collection, representing a transitional moment in US coinage. Many collectors pair 2008 pennies with the 2009 bicentennial designs to create a narrative that captures the evolution of Lincoln's representation on US coins. High-grade uncirculated and proof specimens are particularly prized for their aesthetic quality and historical significance. Errors and varieties are an area of interest for penny enthusiasts. While no major errors are widely associated with the 2008 penny, minor die variations or striking anomalies occasionally surface. These error coins can carry premiums among specialized collectors who appreciate their rarity and uniqueness. Next up, the 1981 United States 1-cent coin, commonly referred to as the Lincoln penny, holds a unique place in the history of American coinage. This coin, while often overlooked due to its commonality, represents an important era in the evolution of US currency. To fully appreciate its significance, we must delve into its historical context, design details, production characteristics, and its value in the world of numismatics. The Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909, was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. This marked a significant departure from previous US coinage, which primarily featured allegorical figures or symbols rather than real historical individuals. The introduction of Lincoln's profile on the penny was a bold move, reflecting the admiration for his leadership during the Civil War and his role in shaping the nation. The obverse design of the Lincoln penny, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, features a right-facing profile of Lincoln based on a Matthew Brady photograph. This design has remained virtually unchanged since its introduction, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. The reverse design of the penny from 1959 to 1981 depicted the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to the president's enduring legacy. This reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, includes intricate details, such as a tiny engraving of Lincoln's seated figure, visible between the columns of the memorial, and primitive rectangles, landscaped to trap the sea. The composition of the 1981 penny is a key point of interest for collectors and historians alike. For most of the series' history, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition gave the coins a distinctive weight and appearance. However, rising copper prices in the late 20th century forced the US Mint to consider alternative materials. 1981 marked the final full year of the traditional copper composition before the transition to a predominantly zinc core with a thin copper plating in 1982. As a result, the 1981 penny is often seen as the end of an era in American coinage. The 1981 penny was produced in vast quantities at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Circulation coins struck at Philadelphia and Denver bear no mint mark or AD mint mark, respectively, while proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint feature an S mint mark. The high mintage numbers mean that circulated 1981 pennies are still commonly found today and typically hold no additional value beyond their face amount. However, uncirculated examples, especially those with exceptional luster and sharp details, are of interest to collectors and can command modest premiums. Proof versions of the 1981 penny, produced exclusively at the San Francisco Mint, were struck with special care for collectors. These coins feature mirror-like finishes and sharp, detailed designs. Depending on their condition and whether they remain in their original packaging, 1981 proof pennies can be worth several dollars each. These proofs represent the pinnacle of coin production quality, showcasing the artistry and precision of the US Mint. Errors and varieties associated with the 1981 penny are another point of interest for collectors. While no major errors are widely known for this year, minor anomalies, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, can occasionally be found. Such errors add an element of intrigue and rarity to otherwise common coins, and can significantly increase their value to specialized collectors. The historical and cultural significance of the 1981 penny extends beyond its design and composition. As one of the last pennies to feature the traditional copper alloy, it serves as a tangible reminder of a time when copper coins played a vital role in everyday commerce. The transition to a zinc composition in 1982 reflected broader economic challenges, marking a turning point in the history of US coinage. Next up, the 1964 D United States 1-cent coin, commonly referred to as the Lincoln penny, represents a significant chapter in the history of American coinage. Minted during a time of cultural and economic change, this coin offers collectors and enthusiasts a glimpse into the past. Its design, production, and historical context make it a fascinating piece to explore. The Lincoln Cent series, first introduced in 1909, was designed to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Victor David Brenner, a renowned sculptor, was selected to create the obverse design, which features a right-facing profile of Lincoln based on a Matthew Brady photograph. This marked the first time a real historical figure appeared on a regular issue U.S. coin, breaking away from the traditional allegorical representations used in earlier coin designs. By 1964, the reverse design featured the Lincoln Memorial, which had been introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Designed by Frank Gasparro, this reverse replaced the original wheat ears design and included intricate details of the memorial. Notably, a tiny engraving of Lincoln's seated figure is visible between the central columns of the memorial, a feature that adds to the design's uniqueness and appeal. End quote. The 1964 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark located below the date on the obverse. This year is notable for its exceptionally high mintage numbers, with over 3.8 billion pennies produced at the Denver Mint alone. The high production volume was part of the U.S. Mint's efforts to meet increasing demand for coins during a time of economic growth and rising consumer activity. As a result, the 1964 D penny remains one of the most common coins from the era, frequently found in circulation even today. The composition of the 1964 D penny follows the traditional alloy of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which had been standard for U.S. 1-cent coins since 1864. This copper-rich composition gives the coin a distinct reddish-brown hue, especially in uncirculated condition. Over time, exposure to environmental factors can cause the coin's surface to darken or develop a patina, adding character but potentially diminishing its value to collectors. For numismatists, the 1964 D penny holds interest as a representative example of mid-20th century coinage. While most circulated examples are worth only their face value, uncirculated specimens with full luster and minimal blemishes can command modest premiums. These coins are often sought after for inclusion in Lincoln Cent collections, particularly those focused on assembling high-grade examples from each year and mint. Proof coins, which are struck with special care to produce mirror-like finishes and sharp details, were not issued for circulation in 1964. However, collectors may encounter well-preserved 1964 D pennies with exceptional strike quality, which are often mistaken for proof-like coins. Such examples can be valuable, especially if they exhibit strong details and an attractive appearance. Next up, the 2003 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, is a significant piece of modern American coinage. While it may seem like a simple and ordinary coin at first glance, the 2003 penny has both historical and numismatic importance. Its design, production, and role in everyday commerce reflect the enduring legacy of the Lincoln Cent series, which has been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage for over a century. The Lincoln Cent series, first introduced in 1909, was created to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse of the coin, designed by Victor David Brenner, features a right-facing profile of Lincoln. This design was groundbreaking as it marked the first time a U.S. coin featured a real historical figure. Brenner's depiction of Lincoln, based on a Matthew Brady photograph, has remained largely unchanged, symbolizing continuity and respect for one of America's most revered leaders. The reverse design of the 2003 penny, like others minted between 1959 and 2008, features the Lincoln Memorial. This reverse was designed by Frank Gasparro to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The intricate details of the memorial, including a tiny depiction of Lincoln's seated figure visible between the central columns, make the coin a remarkable example of numismatic artistry. This design replaced the original wheat ears reverse that was used from 1909 to 1958. The 2003 penny was struck in large quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, as indicated by the lack of a mint mark for Philadelphia coins and a D mint mark for Denver coins. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies in 2003 to meet the high demand for 1-cent coins in circulation. As a result, 2003 pennies are common and frequently encountered in everyday transactions. The composition of the 2003 penny reflects a change implemented in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Prior to this, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, from 1982 onward, the penny's core was changed to 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. This composition gives modern pennies, including those minted in 2003, a slightly lighter weight compared to their pre-1982 counterparts. Despite this change, the coin retains its iconic appearance, with the copper plating providing the familiar reddish hue. For collectors, the 2003 penny is a relatively recent issue and is readily available in circulation. Most circulated examples are worth only their face value of 1 cent. However, uncirculated examples, particularly those with exceptional luster and no signs of wear, can command modest premiums. These coins are often sought by collectors looking to complete year sets of Lincoln cents in high-grade condition. Proof coins were also struck in 2003 at the San Francisco Mint for inclusion in special collector sets. These proof pennies are easily recognizable by their mirror-like fields and sharply detailed designs. Bearing an S mint mark, proof 2003 pennies are highly prized by collectors and can range in value from a few dollars to significantly more, depending on their condition and whether they are still housed in their original packaging.